Imagine you're 12 years old and your mother has left you in charge of your little brother. Now, you obviously feel like you have to protect him and take care of him, but the last thing you felt that you were gonna have to do is protect him from the paranormal. This is exactly what happened to Tita. Her mom has left her in charge and left the house. Unfortunately, she says that her mother had done this to her several times. Tita explains that in the house that her mother and her younger sibling lived in, strange things would happen. There were times where she would hear like crying in a room and she would go and there would be nobody there. Sometimes she would even see shadows. She said that she would get really scared because whenever she would be left alone to take care of her sibling, she would put him in the crib and walk out of the room. As soon as she would walk out the room, she would hear footsteps going into her little brother's bedroom. In more than one occasion this would happen, and as soon as she would hear those steps go into her little brother's room, she would notice that the door would start closing very slowly and she would immediately run into that bedroom. When she would run in, the door would stop moving. She would grab her little brother and try to protect him. When her mother would come back home, she would try to tell her, hey, something's happening, someone's trying to take the baby, but her mother would get really mad at her. Her mom would be like, I'm leaving you in charge, I'm asking you to do this favor of taking care of your brother, and you're coming up with these imaginary stories, you need to stop. Unfortunately, because the mother did not care, it was almost like Tita had to care even more. It was like if some motherly instinct just kicked in inside of her. There was one time where she was left alone with her little brother where she saw this really tall shadow above her little brother as he was sleeping. She immediately goes into her little brother's room, grabs him from the crib, turns around, looks at that shadow and says, you are not gonna mess with my little brother. She turns around, walks out of the room with the baby in her arms. When her mom got home, Tita goes to her and tells her everything that happens. Her mom starts again, I already told you, and Tita interrupts her this time. Tita starts banging hard on the table like 3 or 4 times and says, are you gonna listen to me or not? I am not lying to you. I'm not making up stories. If you love my little brother the way that I do, then you need to listen to me. You need to take care of us. You are the mom. Stop leaving us here alone by ourselves. She explains how her mom, like her eyes were wide open. She looked very shocked. She had never heard Tita talk to her in that manner. Tita wasn't having a tantrum. She wasn't asking her for candy. She wasn't asking her for like stupid little kid things. She was asking her to take care of them. The mom actually got really scared because she realized that her daughter was not playing around, like something was happening. So from that day on, she started leaving them with her mother, their grandmother. There at the grandmother's home, things did get a little bit better and time has passed and Tita is now 14 years old. Now things have started to get weird again. Her little brother is now 3 or 4 years old and she's starting to experience other things. By this point, she's realizing that it doesn't matter where her and her little brother are. Wherever they go, weird things follow. When she's at her grandparents' house, she feels like if somebody's coming into the house, but whenever she goes and looks, there's no one there. When she's at her mom's house, she almost feels like there's somebody watching her, but somebody is more interested in her little brother. She also started hearing footsteps, so she follows those footsteps and it leads to nobody, like no one is there. And it was until one of her smaller cousins goes for a visit. That was when the little cousin tells her that she just saw a big shadow person in the other room. She says that it feels almost as if this thing is looking for her, but more for her little brother. She always feels like when they leave the house, her grandmother's home, her mom's home, it almost feels like she leaves something behind that's waiting for them to return. It honestly feels like something's after her little brother, and thankfully she has always been there to like stop whatever's about to happen. I was about to say that I would have been so scared if I was in her shoes, but I feel like I've done that before where I've defended my little baby brother from that lechuza. I don't know if you guys saw that video. It was only when I was alone where I was really scared, but me defending somebody is like, I forgot about the fear. Also, I feel like it's so sad when like kids have to grow up so fast because like she had to defend her brother because the mom was not there, but thankfully at least the mom listened to what she had to say, even if it was like the 3rd time of her telling her this.